So this year was my first Salute. Salute 50 was last year and I missed it due to work stuff, and as much as it pains my OCD to be going to Salute 51, we made the last minute decision to get the 6 AM train down to London. Got frog, got coffee, got wife, got big bag, and I've got some mini health and safety frogs for some of my Patreon community who are attending the event. I don't really like London. It's expensive to get to, expensive to do anything there. It smells, and it's always 3 degrees warmer and more muggy than up north. But that's where Salute is, so I put on my big boy London pants, got over it, and got there half an hour early for the event. And I also got gout. Yeah, people do still get that. It's mostly a dehydration thing for me. I just don't drink enough water because I need to piss every 5 minutes. Be right back. So I spent the entire day in agony, and looking back at my footage, the footage that I managed to get, I am definitely limping and shaking all over the place. But that's okay, because I didn't actually get enough footage to do like full show coverage, which would have been impossible anyway, because I massively underestimated just how big the show was going to be. And of course we were also stopping every 30 seconds because everybody wanted photos with Hector and Hector's autographs, Hectographs, so, which is nice. So I did get some footage and I did buy some stuff. I didn't want to do like one of those post-Adepticon videos where everyone's like, look at how much child support I spunked on crap I don't need. But we can make something out of the footage I've got. I believe I can make something. As Mitsuoka Shuzo always says, never give up! So inside Salute, the first thing we're greeted with on the way in is the wargaming equivalent of those classic car people who turn up to any kind of event regardless of what the theme or context is. These guys are the Titan Owners Club. Yeah, miniature combat for the recently divorced. Personally, the thought of bringing like 8 grand's worth of resin anywhere with me is terrifying, but these guys definitely put on a real good and big show. Maybe one day I will get a brutal divorce and join the Titan Owners Club myself. We'll see. Now, the absolute best thing about Wargaming Shows for me, and always has been since I was a kid, is the gaming tables and dioramas. These are often participation games or just really cool flexes, and normally they're the absolute excellence of execution. Everybody shows off their skill and love for a game system by bringing in a board and really firing up everyone's imagination. And also the stuff that's just pure creative energy, like the airship game that's all scratch built, and I think they made the game system themselves as well. Great stuff. And there's also quite a bit of charity stuff going on and a lot of kind of community orientated activities going on, I would say. I came across this stand set up by the guys at GriffCon, which is a hobby lounge that they do. A quiet, safe space where you can just pull up a chair, dig into a pile of sprues, make what you want with the supplied clippers and glues, and, you can keep whatever you make. Simon, who was manning the lounge, works with kids who have trouble managing their fine motor skills, for whatever reasons they've got, which is a subject that I can definitely relate to close at heart. And GriffCon is basically a similar sort of thing, but on a bigger scale. Happens once a year in Harlow, Essex. I think it's Harlow, Essex, and it's definitely, I think, the kind of wargaming show that we need more of, not to replace what we've got. But I mean, they could definitely take a few pointers, couldn't they? Wargaming is very steadily joining the rest of us in the 21st century, dragged, moaning and grunting away. And I think it will be people like this that kind of do the work to open it up and make it more accessible. That's a nice word, accessible. And yeah, these guys just kind of brought a big old table of sprues, clippers and glues. You can sit, kit bash, chill out, take a breather from the chaos that is absolutely all around in this place, and just make sure everyone's all right. And speaking of making sure everyone's alright and on the level, Space Marine Ivan was keeping an eye on things, making sure there's no funny business going on. Tell you what, I would also have a pretty short temper if I couldn't pee for 10 hours. Speaking of funny business, we got to meet up with James Hewitt over at the Modiphius stand, showing off the perfectly timed Fallout Factions game. You probably don't know who James is, but he's worked on a couple of bits in the past, nothing especially popular or well known. Nothing you guys would know, anyway, I don't think. Fallout Factions presented pretty well. It's fully compatible with the existing Wasteland Warfare game, and it's designed to be a little bit more approachable to the casual gamer. Like me. And yeah, considering they probably didn't know that the Fallout TV series was dropping when it was, that's good timing to do a casual friendly Fallout game, I think. Also, James thought that I was taking photos and just doing really weird moves with the camera, so we got this delightfully awkward point and smile moment. A few tables down, I got to meet this very familiar looking board. This came out of the golden age of Geek Gaming Scenics boards, and it is really nice to see it in person finally.
What's up guys, Tony Slip and Slide here, back in perpetual forward motion, and I'm here to talk to you today about today's sponsor of the Squarespace. Ever wanted to know what it was like to design a website from scratch? No, me neither. Well, thanks to Squarespace, you don't gotta be doing none of that icky coding or programming stuff, because with Squarespace's browser-based web builder, you can pick from a selection of templates and be ready to start making the website of your dreams in minutes. With so many templates from award-winning designers, there's just too many places with so many templates from award-winning designers, there's just so many places for you to make a start on building your website. But hey, have you had a bad experience in the past with your website going down? No problem. Squarespace has a reliable service hosted all around the world, and along with 24-hour technical support, your website is in safer hands. Have you ever fancied putting a portfolio online of all your fancy painted miniatures? Well, now you can, because Squarespace's templates feature everything from portfolios to vlogs to blogs to daily news updates, all in one browser-based interface. Wow! And as always, guys, it wouldn't be Tony D Slip and Slide time without mentioning the domain acquisition tab, guys. Simply head over there, type the name and the address you want to give your fresh and funky website, and immediately connect it to the rest of the world. So start your online journey today by heading to squarespace.com/MSPaints and use the code MSPaints at checkout to save yourself 10% off your first website subscription or domain. Alright, bye.
Before I go on about my shopping and tell you all about the hottest Warhammer products of 2024, I just wanted to say a thank you to all these lovely people who came over and said nice things. There was a lot of you. There was a lot of you. I got pictures with some of you, which was nice. Lovely stuff. Thank you. I met up with Rogue Hobbies briefly, but I couldn't actually fight my way close enough to the stall to say hi. Plus, I'm not that big on shoving my camera in people's faces. Sometimes. And I did meet a lot of people. I met up with Jordan Sorcery, or as Hector calls him, Gordon Saucepanry, and we were kind of just discussing, it's nice to be reminded that all the people you meet at these things, there are real people on the other end, which I know is the point of making YouTube videos, but it's nice to be reminded that it's not just comments and statistics, that there are lovely, lovely people on the other end. So, mostly Hector fans. And there's also complete bellends at the other end watching. I can confirm I had to stand perfectly still while Dan or Bill changed costume, moved around to the other side of me, and then we took a second photo and stitched them together in Photoshop. The commitment to the bit of this guy is impressive. Also, thank you for the copy of Bangarang, Bill or Dan, whoever you were dressed as at the time. Okay, on to some shopping. I swung by the TT Combat stand, They're the guys who do MDF terrain like really, really well, along with Max Mini, who I think is owned by TT Combat. They make miniatures and games as well, and I can kind of see TT Combat being a pretty fierce competitor to the old GW in the next few years with this kind of spread. Anyway, TT Combat, whoever this guy is, I don't know what you're paying him, but it is not enough. He is so enthusiastic, he managed to sell me an entire like Chinese-Japanese temple complex thing, which is going to turn up in a few weeks. Shit. Okay, so even though I don't talk about it much, my main target of the day was actually GCT Studios, who, if you don't know, make Bushido. And I've tried multiple times to get into it, but I've just never found the time for some reason. So this time I thought, all right, I know nothing. You, Mr. Sir, please sell me things to get me started. And I bought this lovely little compact starter set, which cleverly comes with all faction neutral minis. So by buying this, I'm not tied into a specific playstyle or aesthetic. And from there, I can jump into a faction that I like the look of, or I just want to have a go with. When I'm ready, that is. And I decided I was ready. So I bought these guys, Inari's Judgment, which conveniently were on fully painted, lovely lit display on the GCT stand. And I thought, yeah, I will have an army of like ninja samurai fox people. Yeah. And of course, Inari means fox in Japanese, and these are fox people. And if there's fox people, there's a chance that Wonderful Wife might want to play this with me, because there's fox people. Of course, we also climbed Mount Inari last year as part of our anniversary. I didn't really need to mention that, but I did get some lovely footage while I was dying of exhaustion halfway up the mountain. I also bought a couple of characters that I wanted for a diorama as well, which I'll do it at some point. All of this shit is I'll do it at some point, isn't it? That's the point of this hobby. I'll do it at some point. Like, this actually seems quite mild-mannered and chill, but there is an entire temple complex in MDF on the way. Last couple of bits, I went over to the Gamer's Grass store, and I wish I brought my Kings of War bases with me, because you could just sit there and chill and use as many static grass tufts as you wanted to, which is real nice. Obviously it's a sales thing, but it is also very nice. I picked up some fairly boring and safe tufts, but I like the boring ones because they go with mostly anything. Last purchase of the day was an X-Wing starter set at half price. With a lot of friendly local game stores, it does seem to be a growing trend that their fantasy flight stuff, especially from around this time, like 4 or 5 years ago, is often drastically reduced and doesn't move. Like, I think every friendly local game store has the Star Wars Legion transit van, like a third of the price, and no one buys it. And I assume what they're doing is trying to get rid of what is essentially some dead weight on the shelves, especially like X-Wing 2nd edition. 23 quid. 23 quid for a self-contained game. 23 quid to just have a 45-minute little laugh and a rumble with me old man. Yeah, I think that's fine. Although it's not available to buy yet, I did get to try out the Halo Flashpoint. Is it Flashpoint? It's not Shatterpoint, it's Flashpoint. Halo Flashpoint over at the Mantic stand. They're running game demos with like the prototype models they've got. And that game looks like a lot of fun. I conscripted my mate Gibbo to have a little combat round in it while I filmed it. Hector was helping, obviously. And Gibbo says it's just good fun. It's maximum beer and pretzels. It kind of sticks close to the video game mechanics in that your shield regenerates every turn. Specific game modes, your characters respawn if they die at the start of every turn, things like that. And your characters can be upgraded with stuff like gravity hammers. Wicked. Which does allow you to catapult people across the pitch. And that is basically what I need from a Halo game. So I don't really know what this video is about. What I'm trying to showcase in this very rushed and ill-prepared manner, because I have so much shit upcoming and halfway painted or printed or made on that bench over there. I think the most valuable thing about Salute is that you get to see everybody's show and tell. There's tiny one-person companies that just rock up with a pitch, and they've got a fully realized miniature game and line, like this one, the Woods Skirmish by Oakbound Studio. I didn't get a chance to grab any of their stuff because their store was packed, and the very grumpy security guard was trying to kick me out mid-transaction when I was trying to give someone some money. But yeah, people like the Woods who bring, you know, a full board with a demo setup and a full realized miniatures line. Unless you go out of your way looking for something like that and their SEO is top bang, this is the best place to find those kinds of things. Yeah, I think to grow wargaming as a business and a culture and a community, and to keep trying and learning new things and new ways of playing and new ways of enjoying games with friends, stuff like Salute, ChillCon, Vat Attack, Hammerhead, Partisan, and I think there's like 50 or 60 little tiny ones, stuff like GriffCon that, again, goes under the radar. There's just so much out there. So that was my day. I missed my train home. I had to pay for another one. That fucking stung. And will I go back next year? Probably. We'll probably stay the night before. But despite how I look, I did have a wonderful, fantastic time. Met lots of lovely people. And cheers, I'm out of here. We also did a wicked cool meetup with the MS Paint's Patreon Discord community, which was lovely. Finally got to put some faces to usernames. Everybody got a little health and safety frog miniature they could take away. That was nice. And yeah, as terrible enablers that my Discord and Patreon community are, in that they just like, yeah, get that, buy that, do that, cover a video on that. Yeah, it's a business expense, right? Yeah, it's business. They are all wonderful, wonderful people. And I hope I can meet up with you at more cons, because that was probably the highlight of my day. Okay, cool. Cheers, I'm out of here. For real this time.